What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the trading world. As you can probably tell, I'm not where I usually am. I thought I'd shake things up a bit and keep it a little bit more real with you guys today, because today we had something that happened in the world that was really, really horrific. And not just anywhere in the world, but state next door to me. I'm in Idaho right now. I'm in Idaho right now. And this happened in Utah. And I used to go to school in Utah, so it's kind of crazy because you wouldn't expect it to happen in Utah, but it did. If you guys don't know what happened, it's really, really sad, and be really careful watching the video because it's really hard to watch. But Charlie Kirk was shot and passed away in broad daylight um, at Utah Valley University, and it was terrible. It was terrible. It was literally like out of a horror film, and I can't imagine how it's going to affect his wife, his kids, and how they're gonna feel having that missing person for the rest of their lives, right? And I know, like, everyone's life's hard, but there's no reason, no matter how much you hate someone or disagree with someone, for you to act with that kind of violence. And so today I thought I'd talk a lot about our inner peace, because this does tie to trading. Finding our inner peace, and if not only ties to trading, but it's one of the most important parts of being a trader. We need to find our inner peace in all aspects of our life. Because if everyone in the world can find their inner peace, then the world itself is gonna have peace, right? I know it's kind of a little philosophical there, but like it's true, right? If we can all just focus on ourselves, right, the world's gonna be a better place. And you know, violence, it's never the answer, right? But what I was getting at is everyone needs to find their inner peace, and this very much ties into trading because um, it's an unfortunate paradox, really, because we get into trading with the idea that the profitability that we get, it's going to give us peace, right? And that's true, right? Money is going to help to solve problems in our lives, make our lives better, release the stress. But the problem with that is it's a paradox. We think that the um, the profitability will give us peace, but ironically, um, to become profitable, we need to have that peace already in our lives, right? And sorry if this video is not perfect, by the way. This is my first time doing a different theme type of video, so I'm gonna mess up a little bit here and there, but as I do, hopefully I'll get better. But like, we think that um, you know, obviously profitability is going to give us peace, but we're not going to get where we want to be if we're going into the market with that mindset. We have to go into the market thinking, okay, my life is already good, and I'm being at peace. Not necessarily saying it's good, right? Your life might not be good. It might not be good. You might not be happy with where you are. But you have to find that inner peace somewhere in your life in order for you to have the emotional intelligence to be a profitable trader, to not take a trade. And it's not easy, right? And I think I think we all need to figure out, like at least I'm talking to myself when I say this. We need to figure out in what ways can we make our life better right now before we're profitable. And here's the thing, guys. Here's the other thing I want to say. the unfortunate reality of trading, and I really have not wanted to say this for a while, but it's just the sad truth, is that out of, my 1,300 followers, subscribers, whatever, the reality is only like 15 of us, or 15 of the absolute craziest, absurd level, you know, workaholics are going to actually come out the other side. And I'm not saying that, you know, not to do trading, right? I think if you feel that strong desire that it's right for you, then you should do it, right? If you should at least work on it on the side, right? But what I am saying is there's a million ways to be successful in this life, and trading is quite possibly, the hardest one in the entire world to be successful. Like, it is probably the hardest in the entire world, because not only, you know, is it that 1%, but you literally are going against essentially all of mainstream finance. Essentially, no one believes in you. We know these markets are algorithmic. Like, between me and you, we know these markets are random, but it's like what we're doing is so stupidly hard, and I just want you to realize that trading is not the only way. Like, if it's really like ruining your life to the point where, you just don't have that inner peace, and you think profitability is going to bring you that inner peace, I would strongly encourage you to take a step back, and I talk to myself when I say this, and look at yourself and say, how can I find my inner peace first, and what things can I do to change in my life to find that inner peace, whether it be small things like literally just getting enough water in the day, like, or getting enough sleep, right? Not so I don't feel like crap, right? Cutting back on my energy drinks a little bit more because I have way too much caffeine, right? Or like saying hi to someone, or going to the gym more, or just doing things to feel good so you don't feel like crap every day. Because the way you feel, it really does bleed into your trading. And if you can't find the inner peace first, then the profitability is never going to come, and you ironically think the profitability is what you need to get the peace, when it's the peace you need to get the profitability. And it's an unfortunate paradox, right? But yeah, guys, I think what I'm trying to get at is, if we can all find the inner peace inside, like, whatever we can do to find inner peace, just one day at a time, if we can, whatever it may be, it's gonna lead us to be, more peaceful as a society, and I mean, we're not gonna feel the need to. I mean, there's so much tension in the world. If we can just all find the inner peace within ourselves, right, then, hopefully stuff like that doesn't end up happening, but man, it's tough to see. But anyway, like I said, I know this video is not perfect, but I wanted to make it to, if this hopefully hits someone, that means that's worth making it, right? And once again, I'll keep getting better at making these longer form ones, or whatever. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the market. Probably keep this pretty quick. So today I'm not gonna lie, it all kind of ties into itself, right? Because today was difficult. Today was very, very difficult, and you can see we have really, really high resistant liquidity. See this? See how every single time we come up to this trend line, we fail to break it? Every single time we fail to break it over and over and over again. And then if I zoom into this price action, look how choppy it is all through here. And so what I'm trying to get at is, if we can't find inner peace in our lives, the market is going to eat us alive in all this price action. This is all chop. We're going to get eaten alive all through here. And I'm not saying it's easy, right? But I think we should try. Like, one day at a time, figure out what things we can do to make our lives better, because ironically, that's going to lead to profitability. And so, okay, anyway, we had this chop. What happened here? Let's pull up the screenshots here, right? First thing that happened in the morning, we had the data wick. We had the data high, the data low. We had a 2-minute rejection block here. You can't see it on the screen here, but very nice accumulation, manipulation above that high with 2 SMTs. And so we had, since this is the 2-minute key level, we had a 10-minute change in state, and then we run all the way to the data low. I framed this out on stream, but I didn't like it enough on take it for real, and I don't think I would, because once again, I just don't think it was that high probability. But you know, I noted it out. Then we come down, we end up getting this 1-minute inverse fair value gap, and this is something Dodgy was talking about. He was saying this is actually a fine inverse fair value gap, and you know, inverse fair value gaps are never always going to be 100%. But one thing I will say is I'm not in love with how this price action looks once again. So I did actually take this inverse fair value gap. I took this loss, and one thing I'll say is I think we just need to be more aware of price action, the way it looks, knowing when not to trade. Once again, guys, it's not easy, but one day at a time. I think it's just not obvious enough of clean price action to be where, like, yeah, this is gonna 100% work. But once again, guys, this is decent trade, right? Decent loss. Something else I found cool, right, is if we mark out from 9:30 to 10:30 here, that's the opening range. The highs and lows of this are going to have a lot of stop losses, right? The highs and lows of the opening range are going to have a lot of stop losses, and you can see how useful this was today, actually, right? Where we sweep out the high of the opening range with SMT. Let's see if I can find it here. We sweep out the high of the opening range here. Once again, this black area from 9:30 to 10:30. And when this happens, with a high probability, we're likely to go to the low of the opening range, right? We end up getting SMT. We had a 5-minute breaker in premium with this SMT, and then we got 30-second change of state. So to show you guys what I mean, right? Here's that opening range. Pop down up to the 5-minute. If we measure out this price leg from premium to discount here, you can see that breaker in premium. I would mark it out with just the wick here. You don't need the whole thing. And then yeah, you can see how that's our key level. That's in premium. 5-minute breaker, dropping down to the 30-second, which is the aligned time frame with the 5-minute. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, look at my video on what is a market maker model. But essentially, we're looking for a 5-minute key level, which is this 5-minute breaker that is in premium of this move lower. We push up into it, we chop around. What is this? Accumulation, right? Accumulation, manipulation above the breaker right here. And then our aligned time frame with the 5-minute is the 30-second, and you can see that we go lower off of this. But once again, guys, am I saying this is a high probability trade? Not really. Not really. And the reason I say that is just because look at price action, right? But I need something to talk about today, so wanted to at least talk about something, right? And yeah, we go down to the opening range low. But once again, guys, I think the main takeaway from today is we got to figure out in what ways can we make our life better today so that we don't need profitability right now. So that way we can have the inner peace right now that we need to have profit, so we can have profitability, right? Because if we can't find that inner peace today, I know obviously profitability is going to bring us peace, but if we can't figure out how to do that, if we can't figure out in what ways that we can make our life better today, then it's going to be really hard to figure out. Um, it's just gonna be harder to be profitable. So anyway, guys, you get the gist of what I was trying to say. But yeah, once again, guys, this video was not perfect. In no way was it meant to be perfect, and I think every single one of these videos will just keep getting better. But one day at a time. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.